Everybody, it's Bander Tyrell again. Yesterday I made a video on the same subject, and it was over a 2 hour long video. And I went through Substance Designer and I showed you how to create all the nodes and get everything working. And I explained in excruciating detail what everything was. So if you want to learn how to do it in Substance Painter yourself, check out that video. I'll try to put a link to it in the description. But if you just want to know how to use Substance Painter or Substance Designer and the graph that I created, which I'm going to post on my Google Drive and share it with everybody, you can take that and use it very quickly and easily to make textures for some prefab objects. So this video is going to be about how to use it, not really about how to create it. So I'm not going to go into details about how it all works. I'm just going to show you how to use it quickly and easily. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so this is the chair that we're going to work on. Same one I did yesterday. It's from Surge, who makes 3D models, and they provide us with the AO maps. They provide some other maps too, but it's kind of old school. It's not for PBR. It's not even for really diffuse textures with normals and speculars. It's just a diffuse texture. So that's what they got. They got this look with just a diffuse texture. And so they did a good job with it, right? But they provide us with the AOs. And as I told you yesterday, there's 4 AOs involved. There's an AO for the feet. Select face. There's an AO for the feet down here. There's an AO for these studs, which they call nails. Then there's the base, which is this, and the underside, and a couple other little pieces. And then there's the seat cushion, which is this, and this. So these 3 all use the same, they're going to use the same material and the same AO. So basically, there's going to be 4 different material sets, PBR materials, I guess is the way to look at it, or sets of Blinn-Phong for each style that we want to create. So for this one, this brown leather one, there would be one material that covers this part, and this part. There would be one material that covers this part. There would be one material that covers the feet, and then one material that covers these nails. So 4 different materials for this look. Some of those are going to be repeatable, like the feet. I probably wouldn't do feet for each look unless for some reason I wanted to have white feet or pink feet or something. And the nails might not change as often either, because you may use like a black one or a dark one that you're going to repeat and use on a bunch of different things. So you might not really make that many of them. But you're probably going to have, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 different versions of the upholstery for this chair. And so I'm going to show you how to create these really quickly using those AOs. So, okay, we're going to jump directly into Substance Designer. And so this is how you get there. It's from the Creative Cloud. It opens up, and we're going to do this from scratch. Okay, so then you will go onto the Google Drive, which I'm going to provide you the link to, and you'll download this file, and the file is called PBR Blinn-Phone Material Maker.sbs. And so you're going to open that. I already have opened it, so it's in my browser already. And when you open it, this is what you're going to get. This is the material maker. The things on the left are the inputs that you put in. It's the 2D textures and for your AOs and for your surfaces, your upholstery or your wood or whatever that you want to use. And over on the right are the outputs that are generated for your PBR and your Blinn-Phone materials. So that includes your diffuse material. This is the diffuse material that you would get. This is the normal material that you get. This is the specular. And so that's all Blinn-Phone. And then for PBR, you're going to use base color. You're going to use the same normal that's up here. So you're going to use that. You're going to have this ORM, which looks like that. I don't know why the display doesn't show up there, but it looks like that. And then optionally an emissive, which we didn't cover yesterday. And so I'm not doing anything that uses emissive, so I'm not even going to bother with that. But I added it to the model in case you want to create some emissives. There's ways to get that out as well. And that's for a later date. Okay, So that's the outputs. That's your Blinn-Phong and your PBR. And then on the inputs, you're going to have, and this is going to change over time. So you're going to take a 2D image from your inventory, and you're going to basically drop it in this box right here. And so if I'll show you, I'll get rid of it right now. The one that's in here is this one. And if I get rid of that, what? Is that right? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Click on that. Yeah, there we go. You have to click on it, and then it loads over here. And this is the resource that's in there. It's black, red, white, plaid, but we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. So now there's nothing in it. Okay. I also have an AO down here, but we're going to go ahead and click on that, and then we'll get rid of that as well. So you start from scratch. Okay. So basically we're starting from scratch. Now, if you go over to the left here in Substance Designer to the Explorer, you'll see there's a substance graph, and then there's resources. And if you open that resources up, you can see I put in a bunch of samples in here for you that are from that surge. So these are the 4 AOs for that piece of furniture, so you can play with them if you want to. And then I put in a bunch of different materials. So I put in that plaid that we were just using, this kind of blue flowery thing with stripes, and some other ones that we're going to work with as we do this today. Now, you don't need to use those. What you would do is you would take the materials that you want to use, and you would add them to your list of resources by importing them. So you could come up here where it says resources. You would either do, you could go in here and do, maybe you do it down here. Yeah. Nope, I don't know. Somewhere in here you can do it. I did it a little while ago. New. There it is. So you would do new, bitmap, and you could upload, do that, or you could actually import right here. So you go to import and import a bitmap, and it'll show up in this list. Or you just go to your inventory and you drag them in here. You can drag them in here under resources, or you can actually drag them here on the graph, and then they will show up here in resources and in the graph. But if you then delete it from the graph, it'll still be over here on the left under your resources for you. That's how I did it. I dragged them here and then deleted them. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you first start. Nothing is loaded in here. There's nothing set up for output, nothing on the inputs. You're going to load your materials in here. Like I just said, you're either going to drag them from your inventory, drag them, and drop them, and then they'll show up here in resources. And so what you want to do is you need to connect your images into this whole node graph thing. And I made it as simple as possible, so you don't have to worry about connecting anything. You just need to drop them in. So over here in the left, let's go ahead and pick one. Let's do this blue Delft floral just to see what it looks like. I'm going to take that. It's a 2D seamless texture that I bought off Marketplace. And so I bought it on Marketplace, I downloaded it to my computer, and then I dragged and dropped it in here. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to just drag it and put it right inside that box. So let's zoom in a little bit so you can see. I'm going to drag that and put it right there. And since this input, this is called an input box, was already set to 2048 by 2048, when I dropped that in there, it automatically scaled it up to 2048 by 2048. Okay, so now that's the base one, and it's going in here all the way through the nodes, and you don't really need to worry about all these nodes, but you can see the output over here. So if I right click on this diffuse and do view output in 2D view, you'll see there's nothing there. And we'll talk about why that is. Why that is because Substance Designer has some problems. And so sometimes you have to redo these connections to get it to show up. So we'll talk about that as we go through it. That's the fun part. All right, but first things first is, this is, well, actually I do need to see it. So let's get it over there. Okay. It comes in here to this blend, and then we have the blend. It should be set to multiply. It is set to multiply. Let's try it the other way around, maybe. Still not working. Why is it not working? Set the multiply, use source alpha, input, dropping area. Everything looks right, so that tells me that there's just a problem here. So I'm going to delete that and add another blend node. Then I'm going to put these back. Set this to multiply. So you do need to have, okay. Oh, that's not the problem. This is the problem. So it's there, but because this is connected and this is black, black multiplied with that turns black. So I've got to figure out, oh, that's because I don't have my AO. So, duh. I probably didn't need to delete that. It probably would have worked. Okay, so there's no AO in here. That's what's causing this to be black. Since this gradient map is coming into there and I'm blending that with black, it's going to be black. So how do you feed that? Well, you have to put your AO in here. So let's pick one of our AOs. Let's do the seat. Okay, we'll take the seat and just drag it in. There it is. And now you'll see the AO of our seat cushions flows through to this gradient map, which turns it into color. That's all that does. It takes the black and white and turns it into a color output. And then that gets blended with the Delph, blue Delph over there. And so that's what it's going to look like on the furniture. And then that just flows through to the diffuse. And this is for Blinn-Phong, not PBR. It's Blinn-Phong. So we're blending and burning in the AO and our texture into one. But so this is the whole back of the chair, right? This is the seat cushion, and this is the back of the chair. And I don't want it to look like one big giant flower. So we have to go and scale that. And where you do that is in this Safe Transform Color node. You click on it, and then you just go down to Tile, and you tile it. So that's going to be 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4. And let's do 4 by 4 and then see how it looks. Okay, so there's the seat back. It's going to have that pattern on it, and I kind of like that, so I think that would look good. All right, so by combining the raw 2D image with the AO using a multiply blend, we end up with this baked AO baked on that texture that we're going to use for Blinn-Phone. Now, let's go ahead and talk about how we're going to get the PBR base color. It's a little simpler. We don't even need to do that. We're just going to take this output after we go through. There's a sharpen node here to clean it up and make it look a little crisper. So we have the Safe Transform, which does scaling, rotating, and offsetting. So if we need to do any of those, that's where you would do it. And then the sharpness here, you can adjust how sharp and crisp it got, because this can tend to blur things a little bit as you add more and more and more and get its tighter imagery. They might become a little blurry. So this was put there to help clean that up a little bit. Okay, so the output of that sharpness, the sharpen node, is what we're running over here and blending with the AO to get the diffuse, but we don't need to blend it with the AO for a base color. In fact, you don't want to. So we're going to take this output. It's already going down here, and it comes straight down to the base color. There's nothing happens to it. We're just taking that output and we're using it as the base color. So there's our base color. And you notice the AO is not there because you don't want it. You could put it there, but it's going to get extra dark. And sometimes people want that. So if you want that output to have your AO in it, instead of connecting from here to the base color, just connect from here to base color, and then it would be exactly the same as your diffuse. Or if that's the case, if that's what you're going to do, you don't even need to make the base color. Just use your diffuse as the base color, which is even easier, saves you one less import into Second Life, right? But in PBR, the kind of rules are your base color doesn't have any shadow details. It's just the flat image. So, okay, by that rule, there's our base color. Okay, so we have base color. For PBR, we have our base color. We're going to use the same normal, so we have those two. The only other thing left is the ORM, and an emissive if we're going to use it, but we're not going to use it for this, so the only thing left is the ORM. Okay, and on, oh, I didn't talk about the normal yet, so okay, screw that. Okay, so that's the base color and the diffuse. Now we're going to talk about the normal. How do we get a normal out of here? So the normal, it's taking the output of this, it's converting it into grayscale, it's feeding that into a normal node, which makes a normal, and then you have a normal. So you don't need to do anything with that. It's automatic. As soon as you make changes to this image and scale it or do whatever you want to with it, that output is fed into your base color and automatically into your normal, and so you're done. Now, it's set to OpenGL. And OpenGL is going to be what's used in Second Life to give us the what's up and what's down. But if for some reason you're not happy with what's up and down and you want to flip it, you can do a bunch of stuff and add an inverter node and things like that. Or you can just come in here and pick DirectX, and that automatically flips it. But I think that's less desirable, so I just usually leave it at OpenGL. And if I don't like this, then if I want it to be flipped, then you're going to have to figure out a way to flip it. That's the easiest way to flip. Okay, so that gives me the normal. Okay, so specular, there's a lot of different argument for how you make a specular and what gets shiny in a specular. And in this, what I'm looking at is I want to have these these flowers to be shiny and the background to not be shiny, and the blue stripes to be somewhat shiny. And so this model actually works for that. That's going to give me what I want. And the way to get that is I just take the output of the grayscale version of the image, the base color image, got converted into grayscale here to feed into the normal. Well, I just invert that using this is called an invert grayscale node. So it converts it from white becomes black and black becomes white. And then grays flip over from the midpoint. So this is the inversion of that. And that's what I'm going to use for my specular here. Okay. There. Okay, so now we've got our diffuse, our normal, and our specular for Blinn-Phong. So Blinn-Phong is done. And we have the base color, the normal for PBR, but we're not going to use the emissive, so just leave it. And we don't have our ORM yet, so we need to get the ORM. So how do we get the ORM? Well, when you drop your ambient occlusion in here, that gets fed directly into this merging node, which merges 3 different grayscales. That can actually do a 4th one for alpha if you have one. It converts those into a color output, which is then fed into the ORM. The other 2 inputs are your roughness and your metallic. And so those are, if you want to use a uniform color so that everything has the same amount of roughness and the same amount of metallic, all you need to do is click on this input node and you can adjust its grayscale color. So I wanted this I want it to be matte. So I set it this way. Now, if I wanted this to be more like the way I have it for the specular, what I can actually do is take the output of the specular and blend it with this. And so what I would do for that is set this to white. Then I would come in here and add a blend node. Take the output of this, put it in here. Output of the blend node going into roughness, and then take this output and feed it in here and set this to multiply. So that just basically takes the output that I was using as specular and is now going to create my roughness. And then that just gets fed straight on over to here. And if you look at it, this is not working. Oh, I don't want to look at that. I want to look at this. There. So now you can actually see this is what it's going to look like with that roughness map being set to whatever is in the specular map. Okay, but for me, I'm just going to skip that for now. I don't really want to do that. I can come back and experiment with that if I want to, but I'm going to experiment. I'm not going to experiment, so I'm just going to use the white. And white means no reflection. It's maximum roughness. Maximum roughness means no reflection. And then for metallic, I want it to be no metallic, which is black. So just put that directly into there. Again, if I want to have a noise pattern or anything in here to give me some kind of creativity for how this metallic looks, then you could actually do some advanced things in this line here, but that's up to you. So the basics of this, though, is you have 3 grayscales. You have your ambient occlusion, you have a grayscale for your roughness, and a grayscale for your metallic. Feed them into here, the output comes to here, and it looks like this. Okay, so that's your ORM. So now we're done. So we have this blue and white floral pattern for the seat cushion material all done. We just need to export it. So let's go ahead and export that. Let me clean out my export folder. So I did a bunch of stuff in here yesterday, so I want to go ahead and delete all that. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this now. You can go to output export, which is somewhere, I can't ever remember where it is. And you can export these directly, and it goes into an export folder. Or I just like to do them manually. So the way to do that is once you have one of the outputs selected, then this little drop down will show you all of them, and you just pick them. So this would be the diffuse, which is the one at the top, and then you click the save icon. And so we'll call this Blue Delft. This is seat. It's the seat AO. So this is the part of the chair for the seat. And then this is diffuse is the name of the, let's do dot diffuse. All right. And then just pick the next one, which is a normal. Hit save, and we'll do Blue Delft seat dot normal. Then we pick the next one, which is specular, and we'll hit the save. Blue Delft seat specular. And I'm saving these as JPEGs. I noticed there was a problem when saving with PNG that for some reason the ORM was blank. But in JPEG it works. Okay, that was the specular. Next is base color. Click the save. Blue Delft seat base color. Then select ORM, save. Blue Delft seat dot ORM. And then I don't really care about the emissive, but I can save it if I want to, and we'll just save it out as Blue Delft seat dot emissive. Okay, didn't really need that, but okay. Now let's go over to Second Life, and we're going to bring that in. So we're going to do build, upload, bulk, and we'll select all of those and bring them in. So we're uploading 6 things. And it's uploading. Takes a little while to do that. 3, 4, almost done. Okay, they are done. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this. I don't know why is it so dark. I'm on midday. We're going to get rid of the textures that are here. So click multiple. I don't want to get rid of the shadow on the ground. So every other face, we're going to go ahead and do multiple blank. And there's no PBR assigned yet either. So, okay. So now we have a blank chair. Let's go ahead and edit it. Go to Blinn-Phone, select face, and we are going to do the seat, which is this one. this one, and this one. We can go ahead and select all three of them. And then we can just put these where they go. Specular goes here. Normal goes here. And diffuse goes here. And there you go. So that's what 4x4 turned out to look like, which is bigger than I probably wanted. So I would probably go back and do this again and make it like 5x5 and try it, 6x6 and try it, and just keep doing that until I get it the way I like it, and then maybe export everything. I should have done that from the beginning. Just do the base color, see how it looks like, and if it doesn't look the way you want, then move on. Okay, so that's the seat in Blinn-Phone. So apart from the fact that the scale is bigger than I think it looks good, it actually looks pretty darn good. I don't know what it is with lighting these days in Firestorm. It just seems very inconsistent. So I'm going to set up a light here. I also have my window slightly open, so I'm getting interior light. And just turn the feature. There we go. That helps. Okay, so that's what it looks like lit up. I think it looks pretty darn good. You can see that there is some raising up of the image with the normal, so you get that kind of 3D effect to it. That's kind of cool. And the stripes do look like they're offset from the white, which is cool. All right, but let's go ahead and do the PBR now. So we're going to go in here, and we'll just, right here in the textures, you can move them later into the materials folder if you want them in the materials folder. Doesn't matter. We're just going to create it right here in the textures folder. We'll do new material, and we're going to call it Blue Delft Seat. And then double click it to edit it. And then just drag the things in. So you want the base color goes to base color. Normal goes to normal. ORM goes into ORM. And emissive goes in emissive. Oops. Why does emissive look like that? I must have saved the wrong thing to my emissive. So anyway, we'll just get rid of that. Done. So there is no emissive. Okay, so there we go. We have our base color, we have our normal, and we have our ORM, and we're going to save. And it saves it immediately. I don't know what I wait for. And then you just drag it on. Boom, and there we go. And we'll drag it on here. We'll drag it on here. And that's the Blinn-Phong version of this. Seems like it's got some metallic on there. I don't know. Seems metallic to me. Got some reflection. I don't know. And we can override that and say 0 metallic. Like that. And then, oops. If you don't have, in your editor, if you don't have PBR tab selected, you can't see the materials as you edit them. It's a bug. There it is. That's better. So for some reason, metallic was getting set to 1, even though the ORM had no metallic. So I had to manually set in the material, set it to 0. And there we go. Now it looks like it did before. All right. It's very similar to what it looked like with Blinn-Phone, but I think it looks better. The normals look. I just think the handling of everything's a little bit better. Okay, so that's the seat. Now let's go do the this one's called base, so we'll go do that. Okay, and the only thing we need to change now is the AO. So instead of using the AO for the seat, we want to use the AO for the base. So just drag that into there. It changes, and then let's think about what all do we need to change. Well, now because the AO has changed here, the PBR diffuse is changed. The normal has not changed. The specular has not changed. The base color has not changed. The ORM has changed because it now has this, and we're not doing emissive, so it doesn't matter. So the only thing was we need to export are the diffuse and the ORM, because the rest of them are reusable. So let's do that. We will select this and we will export that as Blue Delft base diffuse. And then for the ORM, select that and output that to, it doesn't need to be Blue Delft ORM because it's going to be for any material. Let's just call it base ORM. All right. So now let's go back to Second Life and we'll import that build, upload. Be helpful if I could actually aim build, upload material. We're going to do export, not material, bulk. And we're going to select it right here. It's called base ORM and Blue Delft base.diffuse. Those two. That's all we need to upload. Okay. But while I'm thinking about it, that ORM is very matte. It has no shine to it, right? So it had roughness set to 1 and metallic set to 0. So what I want to do is, instead of calling it base ORM, I'm going to refine that name and call it base ORM matte. And then I'm also going to rename the other ORM, which we got right here, because again, it's not for Blue Delft, it's just for the seat. So let's rename that one. We'll just call that seat ORM, but we'll make it for matte. Okay, so that just helps me be a little more organized. So now I can take this material, and if I really want to be sorry, I just take this material and copy it. I lost my train of thought there. Copy it, and then we'll just paste it back in the same folder that we're in. And we'll rename it to Blue Delft base. Okay, then double click it to edit it, and let's change the parts that need to change. Okay, base color doesn't change, normal doesn't change, the ORM does need to change, and we're going to put the base ORM matte instead of the seat ORM matte. Everything else is the same, and just hit save. So now we have two materials, which would normally be 1, 2, 3 times 2, 6 things that had to be uploaded, plus the 3 for the Blinn-Phong. So we were at 9 uploads, but so far we've only had to upload 8. So we saved 1 so far. But the more we do, the more we're going to start saving. All right, so that's this. Let's go ahead and apply it. Oh, I wanted to make sure I did the same thing. Let's set this. Oh, it is already set to 0 because I edited this already. I copied it and pasted it in. So we're going to drop that in here. And there you go. So now we have everything on this looking really good. Actually, I want my feet to be white. I like that. But let's put a wood on there or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Okay. So let's go back to designer, and what's the next thing we want to do? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do the feet, which is those wooden feet. So for that, we're not going to use this texture anymore. So I could click in there and get rid of it, or I could say, okay, what do I want to use? I want to use a wood. So I have this kind of cherry looking wood. Oh, I didn't actually add it. Okay, so I'm going to go to my inventory, and I'm going to go grab a wood grain texture. So let me go look for one. Okay, so I'm down here in my pictures. I have a thing called Good Wood, which has a whole bunch of different kinds of wood in here. And I'm just going to drill down These are just simple wood 2D textures. And while we're doing that, we'll pick one that I think will go good with this white furniture. So maybe I could always desaturate these too, so to get rid of the color. Let's take this one, and we'll temporarily set it right here. Oops, it didn't take. Why won't it let me take it? Should be able to drag that directly in. Says I can't do it. Is it all the woods that way? Okay, that's strange. It's behaving oddly. New 3D scene. This is completely different than what I had before, so. Go ahead and save. Weird. New package. I don't need a new package, so try and add a bitmap from new resource. Use bitmap. Untitled bitmap. Where to put it? There it is. And then this is, you can tell it what you want. This is the resources that it's in here, right? So I need to get one from here. There we go. Now it's letting me do it. So I imported the resource. That cherry wood is here now. It's also right here. Let me try to get that other one that was a little lighter color. Something like this one. Import resources. Okay, so it worked. Now you'll notice something about these that is unusual. So this one, oh, this one, the wood grain is horizontal. And on this one, the wood grain is the other way. So that might create a little bit of a challenge, but we have a way to fix it pretty easily. All right, so let's go with this light colored image, which is this one. So I'm going to show you how it is, what to get them from over here on the left. So they're here laying on my desktop. You can just delete them. But that doesn't delete them from your resources. They're still over here. Okay, so now we just go up here to our 2D texture bitmap, grab that light colored wood and drop it in. Boom. And there it is. So that's what the wood looks like, but it's horizontal. So now I can come over here to my safe transform color. It's currently set to tile 4x4, but I only want it to be 1x1, so we're going to drop that back down. And then I can also put a rotation in. And then we're going to do a rotation of 90 degrees to get it horizontal. And there it is. And the reason I want it horizontal is because the with the AO that we have for the feet, I think it looks best to be horizontal. I could be wrong. We'll take a look at it. We'll still grab that. It's called legs over here, this legs, and we'll drop it in here. And it looks like that. So seems to flow horizontally, so it looks like it would be better if the grain of the wood went horizontally too. I just think so. It could go either way. So that's all. We just added a wood grain here and the AO for the feet here. And then we got to come over here and figure out what to export next. Okay, so we have a new diffuse. We also have a new normal. We have a new specular. We have a new base color. We have a new ORM. So basically, we need to export everything. So let's just go up and do that. Diffuse, and then we're going to save this and call it light wood feet.diffuse. I'm going to go ahead and save those words in my copy so I don't have to keep typing them. Then we go to the normal and save the normal. Normal specular paste dot specular, and go to base color, paste dot base color, select ORM. And this, it's not about the color of the wood, it's just that it's the feet. So we're going to call it feet ORM. Now, let's go back to Second Life. We'll upload all of those. Build, upload, bulk. We will get the feet ORM, light wood, light wood, light wood, light wood. And open that. And then once those are done uploading, we're going to go ahead and edit this chair, select the feet, go to Blinn-Phong, and we're going to set that in here. So we want the diffuse to go in diffuse, we want normal to go in normal, and we want specular to go in specular. And so now our feet have this kind of wood grain. It's a little darker than I was wanting, but it's okay. Now let's make the PBR. So we're going to do it new again. We're going to do create new material. And we'll call this light wood feet. Open it up and start dragging things in. So we want our base color, our normal, and the feet ORM. Oop, not emissive. Did I put them in the wrong place on the other one too? I think I might have. ORM goes there. Normal goes there. And then save. You probably saw that. We're going, what are you doing? Yeah, I have them in the wrong things on these. So yeah, okay. So let's fix this one. This is the Blue Delft base. So I need the Blue Delft normal to go here. I need the base ORM to go here. And emissive is none. That's probably why that didn't work earlier. Remember I had to change those? That's probably why, because I had these in the wrong place. Okay, so that's the base. Now let's go ahead and do the seat as well. Yep, I had that one wrong too. Okay, so the seat ORM goes there. Blue Delft seat normal goes here. And then this, we're going to turn to none. Save. It's a good thing we caught that. All right, now let's place them on here. So we'll go ahead and put the base where it goes. Hey, look at that. See, the normal's way more pronounced now. Then we're going to go put the seat where it goes. Yay. And then we'll put the feet where they go. And these look much lighter. I like that. Yay. Helps when you put things in the right place. All right. So the last one we want to do is the nails. So let's go back to designer. And let's talk about the nails. So the nails have a different AO. It's this one here. It looks like that. So we're going to drag that into the AO. Boom. So now we have our new ORMs already done. We don't have to do anything. Our base color is going to have this in it instead of what we had. And so we don't want this wood in here anymore. So we can delete it out, or we can wait and put something else in there. But I'm just going to use a color, a grayscale color for this, because it's just, I want it to be kind of metallic. And so something, oh, this is where we might want to change our, how metallic it is too. So let's go ahead and we'll get rid of that. So there's nothing in there now. And I have metallic looking images that we could use, but yeah, let's go see what I have in textures for that. So I'm going to go pull that up. All right, so here's my folder full of metal. These are kind of cool. These are look silvery, and it's white, right? So maybe I want something like this brushed white metal. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, let's take this one. It should let me drop it. Yeah, it does. Okay, yay. Import that. And I'm gonna just delete it out of here. I don't want it cluttering up my graph, that's why I got rid of it. And we're gonna take the brushed metal and we'll drop it in. Maybe the format is wrong. Why won't it let me do it? Okay, maybe I need to put it back. Do I need to re-import it? Can't I just drag that here? No. It won't let me drag it into my model. Substance Designer, what's wrong with you? Well, I will try and re-import it. Okay, I think it either put it in the same place, it just set it on top. Okay, so we're just going to leave that here, and then I will just connect it like that. Instead of trying to get it to go in that box, I'll just use it from here. I put this in here as a convenience, but if it's inconvenient, which it is, we won't use it. So it's got some graininess to it. That's about it. You could actually use other nodes and stuff. You could add noise to this. You could add contrast to it. There's a whole bunch of things you could do to make this look more like metal, but we're just going to go with this. And if you look really closely, you should see some striations on that, but that's about it. All right. So now, because this is a whole new material, we need to export basically everything. So let's go ahead and get this in here. So we will go, oh, I have that 90-degree turn. That's why it's horizontal. So maybe we can go take that rotation out. It's not showing a rotation. Oh yeah, it is right here. 90. Boom. 0. Now if we look, it's horizontal. Okay. So let's go ahead and save that out. And we'll call this white nails dot diffuse All right, and then get the normal for that. We will do, and again, this isn't because it doesn't have to be for the white. It could be for anything, right? But we'll call it that white nails dot diffuse. Nope, dot normal. Then we'll go to specular, and specular. This specular doesn't look very shiny, right? It's not going to be shiny, but I kind of want it to be shiny. So maybe what we'll do is instead of using this invert this time, we'll use the direct output. And output that. White nails specular. Okay, now we'll grab the base color. White nails dot base color. And last but not least, white nails dot ORM. Okay, we'll go back over here and we will do bulk upload of all that. White nail specular ORM normal diffuse and that. And then something should be called nails dot. Oh yeah, this is not really white nails. It should just be called nails. Let's rename it. So we'll get white nails, white nails, white nails, white nails. And then as that's uploading, we'll start editing our guy. Go to Blinn-Phong, select face, and pick the nails. And then we will put the diffuse, normal, specular. It looks all right. And then we'll create a new material. Call it white nails. Open it. Drag the base color in. Drag the ORM in. And the normal. And save. And then on this one, I actually don't like the values that I had in my ORM. So I want to override them a little bit. I want this to be 0.5 on on my roughness and 0.5 on the metallic. Let's see how that turns out. I could have done that in the ORM itself by changing the materials that I was using to generate the ORM for roughness and metallic, which we may have to do if this doesn't look good. Go ahead and drop that on the nails. And they look okay to me. Uh-oh. I got my invisible trim down there is showing now. Okay, there. It's done. It's gone. Okay. This is actually a functioning chair, by the way. Okay, so there we go. We have all of our materials done for this set. We have the seat cushions, 3 of them. We have the base material. We have the nails material, and we have the feet material. And we're done. Okay, but let's say, okay, I want to have dark nails. So let's go back in here. And instead of this white that we have in here, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm just going to put this input. Okay, what is it? Where is it? So now this is not even set up. This is not right anymore because it doesn't have the color slider. So anyway, unless I lost it somewhere. Oh, it's gone. Wow. This program is really, really helpful. All right, so that node is not really working right now, so I'm going to add a uniform color node. It's called uniform color. And I want it to be grayscale, and I want it to be fairly dark, like that. And I'll put that through. And of course, that doesn't work because this is color. So we'll just go back and use color instead. Just change it back to color. And hey, suddenly it works. All right, so we have that going through, and that's going to give us the same thing. And now all I have to do is export the diffuse and the base color, because nothing else changes. So let's go export this, and we'll call it dark nails dot diffuse, and we'll pick the base color, and we will do dark nails dot base color. Okay, then we can come back here and upload those. Build, upload, bulk, dark nails, base color, and diffuse. So now we only needed 2 more materials instead of 6. So we saved 4 that time. And then we're going to take the white nails, we're going to copy it and paste it, call it dark nails. We'll open that and then replace the base color with dark nails base color. Let's save it. Not going to apply it yet because we're going to go ahead and do the Blinn-Phong first. So we're going to select that, select the nails, which is this, and we're going to put the dark nails diffuse on there. And now we can go ahead and put the dark nails material on it. And there we have it. Now, same thing for the feet. I want to have a dark cherry foot. So let's go back. Sorry, let's go back to designer. Let's go ahead and swap out our AO with the AO for the feet again. There we are. And instead of uniform color here, we need a bitmap. So let's go ahead and drag this cherry wood to here. And then we will plug that in instead. And I want the transforms to be, I want 1-to-1s on my tiling. I want no rotation because it's horizontal. And there we go. And so again, I'm just going to output the diffuse and the base color. So let's output this and call it cherry feet.diffuse. We'll take the base color and we will do cherry feet.base color. And it looks kind of weird. Maybe I need to adjust the sharpness a bit. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually way better, isn't it? So let's leave it like that. And then we'll just output again. I'm not going to redo the normal because that's okay. The normal is now different as well, so I should probably redo it. All right. Yeah. Thinking. I like this better than the normal I had before, so I'm going to take this normal and I'm going to apply it to both. Okay, so let's go ahead and export these. Let's do this again. This is diffuse, we'll call that. cherry feet diffuse. Yes, I want to replace it. Do the normal, and we'll just call it feet normal. Did I already do that? Nope. Because I'm going to use this normal for all the feet going forward, so we're just going to feet normal. And then the base color. We'll replace the cherry base color. Okay. Now I'll go back to Second Life and upload those three things. Build, upload, bulk. That is feet normal, cherry feet base color, cherry feet diffuse. Upload all of those three things. And then before I create the new one, I want to go ahead and fix this foot that I'm using down here, which is this white light wood feet. And I'm going to use a different normal than the normal that I had in there. I'm going to use this normal. And save. And then we will apply that. And then go back to the Blinn-Phong, select face, that one. And it's not going to look so lumpy. I didn't like the way the lumpiness really looked anyway. Feet normal, boom. Uh-oh. It's like I got them in the wrong place. Select face on that. That's correct. Lightwood feet. Why is it showing me the normal? Wood ORM normal. Because it was the last thing I selected, that's why. Oh, God. I'm just going to unlink this thing, get it out of the way. Select face. I did it on that one too. Select face. I probably just changed the entire thing. Gosh darn it. Select face. Cherry feet normal. Make sure this is okay. This was the light wood diffuse. Where is that at? Light wood diffuse. Okay. Why is it showing that? It's got to be in the PBR. Oh, I know why it's showing that. Because I have PBR. I don't have PBR selected. Nope. Okay. Let's try a new, let's just get rid of this and start a new material and see what happens. Create new material. And we'll call it feet. Dark. And what's it doing in sound? All right, so this is going to have the cherry base color. It's going to have the feet normal as my normal. And then it's going to have feet ORM. It's the ORM. And if I apply that, it should look right. Okay, it does look right. Okay, great. So then let's just take that and we will copy it. Paste it, and call it feet light. And then all I have to do is change the base color to the light base color, which is light wood feet base color there. All right, so I have the feet light, which looks like that. And I have the feet dark, which looks like that. But it's very matte, right? So I don't want it to be matte. So let's just change this a little bit and say 0.5, 0.5. That's light. Now it's got a little bit of a gloss to it, which looks better. Do the same thing with that. Make it 0.5, 0.5. Now, if I didn't care and I wanted to go make a new ORM in Designer, I could do that by changing the roughness and the metallic from black and white to some kind of grayscale as well. And not have to use these kind of the slider method, but that's fine. Dark. Okay, so I got my dark feet, I got my dark nails, and I'm ready to go create some kind of dark texture here. Again, this thing is... Get rid of that. I don't need these extra prims for this video. Okay. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to go back and do the base and the seat. Okay. So again, let's go ahead and change our AO for the seat. We're going to grab the seat one and drop it in there. And then we just need to have a base color that we want. So get rid of this. I'm going to use this leather right here. It's called FL Leather 36. So drag that. Be able to drop that in there. Put it here. I think it's because I released it there first. And nothing happened. Okay. Get rid of that. So we'll take this one. I'd like to connect this one to here. Now, that's going to give us this entire thing spread over the entire surface of the couch, or the chair is going to look like that. That might be too big of a grain on this, so I think I want to tile that. So let's go back to this and we'll tile it. Let's just try 2 by 2. All right. So that causes a cascading change that changes this. It changes a bunch of stuff. So we need to export the diffuse. This is a new material, so we need to export the diffuse, everything basically. The only thing we don't need to export is this ORM, because we already have seat ORM, so we don't need to export that. We need to export everything else. All right, so let's start at the beginning. This is going to be called leather. Let's call it brown leather seat dot diffuse. And then I will copy that. Now we'll go to the normal. We'll call this brown leather normal. I don't know why I did this. Brown leather. It doesn't matter what part it is because it's for both the seat and the base. Same thing with the specular. It doesn't have the AO included in it, so it's going to work for everything. So we'll just call that brown leather seat specular. And then we have the base color, which is the same concept. There's no AO in it, so it's just going to be called brown leather seat base color. Okay. And sorry, my thumb wheel is very sensitive, and I bump it, and this whole thing goes crazy. All right, so let's go back to Second Life and bulk upload that. Build, upload, bulk, and it's called brown leather normal, brown leather seat base color. It doesn't need to be called seat. I was just thinking about that. It's just really, it is just the brown. It's going to work for both the seat and the base. That's just going to be called brown leather base color. Same for the specular, right? Where's the specular? Doesn't really need to be called seat, so we'll rename that. I thought I did that. Okay. So the only one that is really tied to the seat is the diffuse, right? So we got brown leather, base color, normal, specular, seat diffuse. And that's all I have to upload. 4. So now we're uploading 4. And so this is going to be for the seat. And so I already have a material for the seat, which was called the Blue Deft seat. So I'm going to copy that. And then rename that so that instead of Blue Deft seat, it's going to be called brown leather. Then I'll open it. And change the things that need to change, which are the normal and the base color. Save it. And then, okay, let's go ahead and do this. We'll do the Blinn-Phong first. So we're going to select face. This is seat, so it's all 3 of these. And go to Blinn-Phong, and we're going to... Oh, somehow, yeah, that's what I thought. I accidentally put this material on everything. Got to be careful. Okay, so we want the diffuse, the normal, and the specular to go there. And then we'll apply the seat the same way. And you'll note it's quite matte, right? So there's no sheen, no shine, no nothing. But we'll address that in a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the base one too, even though it's completely matte. We don't have to change that. The only thing we have to change is the AO. So let's grab the base AO, which is this one, drop it in there. And then again, now all I have to export is the diffuse and the base color, because everything else should be as is. So we're going to do brown leather base dot diffuse. Then we'll change to the base color, and we will do brown leather dot base. Oh, I don't have to change that. Yeah, so I didn't even need to export that. That hasn't changed. The only thing that changed is this. Is that right? Yeah, that is right. Okay. That's right. So the only thing I need to export is the diffuse. So, okay. Now we'll just go upload that image. Build, upload image, brown leather base, diffuse right there. So you have to think things through and save yourself some effort, so you don't have to create things you don't need. You don't have to upload them. And some people have to pay 10 linden to upload an image. So it saves you, every time you don't have to upload something, you're saving 10 linden. You could, with all the textures that I would be creating in another program from this, I would save myself, 20, 30, 40 uploads. So it adds up really quickly. All right, so we'll go here and edit the face on that. And again, these change, so we'll go ahead and apply it. We'll put the brown leather base diffuse on there, and we'll put the normal and the specular on there. Then we go to PBR, And what we're going to do is we're going to copy the blue deft base, and we will rename it to brown leather base. And then we will open it. And all we have changed is the base color to be brown leather base color, which we uploaded before. We didn't even have to upload it this time. And save it. And let's drop it in and see how it looks. And there it is. Now, I don't like that because it's so matte. It's just so matte. I want to have nice shine and sheen on here. So there's a couple ways that we can do that. We can just open up these materials and we can change the values by providing overrides. And we'll see how it looks. So I want this to have a little bit of metallic. So instead of 0, let's do 0.25. It's a quarter metallic. But on the reflective part, I want it to be, let's say 50% reflective. So I'll set this to 0.5. Okay, and then let's try it and see. Got to reapply them. And already, doesn't that look more realistic and more natural? Oh, that's got the wrong, it's got the wrong normal in there. See this one. It needs the brown leather normal. Yep, that one. Don't know how I got that in there. Okay, so that's the brown leather base. There we go. And let's just make sure this one has the right. Brown leather normal. Okay, good. All right, so that's what it looks like now with it set up that way and overriding it via the overrides. But I can still make it more reflective. Let's try 0.75 or 0.25. Okay, save it. That's the base. And then let's do the same thing on the seat. 2.5, save it. And then apply it like so. And now it looks very reflective, maybe too reflective. So that was what? It's 0.25. It's 0.5 wasn't enough. 0.25 is too much. How about let's go 0.35. Bump it up a little bit. It's a seat. Okay. And that's better, but maybe I want a little more metallic on there. So instead of, oh, that metallic is still 0. So let's change that to 0.25. That's 0.25 metallic, 0.35 reflectives. 0.25, let's make that to 0.35 on the base. Okay. And so there we go. That's how you want to do it if you want to use the overrides to give it some kind of sheen to it, right? But how would I do that if I wanted to do that via the ORM? Well, you come back in here, and instead of using white and black for that, we're going to change these values. And again, this is probably not going to let me change it now. See, it doesn't give, oh, there it is right there. Maybe I missed it on the other one because it is right here. All right, so this is set to white. And remember, white means no reflection, and 0 means 100% mirror-like reflection. And so let's just set this to somewhere down here. And then on the metallic, I want it to have some metallic, so let's bump that up like that. And now the only thing that we need to export is the ORM, and this is the ORM for the base. See how it's a completely different color now? And so we're going to output this as base ORM medium shiny. Then let's change the AO to the seat and export this as seat ORM medium shiny. Then we can come back and get this, do build, upload bulk, get those two new ORMs, which were called base ORM medium shiny and seat ORM medium shiny. Now we're going to edit. Actually, instead of editing, what I want to do is I want to copy them and just these two materials and reproduce them. That way we can compare them. And we'll call them medium shiny. We'll add that on here. Medium shiny. Okay, this is one of, oh, let's edit these two. And we'll put the new ORMs in. This is the seat ORM, which goes here. And we'll do the base ORM, which goes here. And then these were back at 1 when we started, so I'm going to set them to 1 here just to see what happens. And then since I changed this, I want to go ahead and reapply this because there's some funky things that happens. And we'll see what happens. If the overrides aren't working correctly, then we may have to change it after the fact. But this is the seat. Okay. Save. Save. And then this is the matte one, right? So we'll just change that back to 1, 1. Reapply those ORMs because I don't know if it's going to work. So this is called seat ORM and base ORM. Just got to find them. Base ORM matte and seat ORM matte. So those should come out matte now. I hope. So let's go ahead and put them back on their base and seat. 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 Okay, there we are. There it is, back to being completely matte. And then this one should be somewhat shiny. So we're going to put that on the base. Put this on the seat. 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 And now you have shiny without using the overrides. And I personally think it looks a little bit better. I don't know. It just seems to me it looks better. Now, one thing I'm noticing, I don't have much of a definition on the normal on this, so let's go check what happened with that. And it could be because my I lowered it. Lowered it for the wood, right? I lowered it for the wood. How did I lower it for the wood? We have that. It's 2 by 2. 2 by 2. And then it goes to sharpen. Oh, I know why it was the sharpen. Yes. So sharpen intensity is down. That's why my normal is down. So let's go back up to something like that. See, as you increase this intensity, see what happens to your normal? Your normal gets really busy. So it was like around here. And that affects the outcome of all of these. So let's go ahead and let's just make this look the best it can. So I'm going to go ahead and re-export. I'm going to redo the base color and the diffuse, the normal, specular, and base color. Basically redoing the whole material. But while I'm at it, I think this 2 by 2 is, I want to go a little bit more than 2 by 2. So let's change this to 3 by 3. Okay. And now let's just do this and we'll re-import the whole thing. And while I'm at it, this might not be light enough. So I can modify this output that comes in here with something called a level. So if I add a node called level and I put this in between, I can actually adjust what this looks like by controlling these sliders. Like this one. It gets it much lighter. It's like affecting the contrast kind of. So now the whites are whiter and the darks are darker. And the mid-range is a little lighter too. So let's go ahead and we'll just re-export everything. Because we have the flexibility to make these changes and to do this kind of on the fly. It's just amazing. So okay, we're going to re-import XL. We're going to export all of these again. All right, this one's called diffuse. So we're just going to find our brown leather seat. Diffuse right there. And we're going to override it. Then we'll do the normal. Find the brown leather normal. And the specular brown leather specular. And the base color brown leather base color. And the ORM, we'll use the medium shiny ORM. Okay. So we're done here. Let's go back. I didn't need to upload that whole thing. So, okay, we're going to go upload all of those. And that's basically brown leather normal, base color, specular, base diffuse, seat diffuse. Oh, I didn't do the base yet. I only did the seat. So we hadn't done the base one either, I don't think. We only did the seat one. So let's go back over here. And to get the base one, all you do is change the thing back to base. And then export that. And yeah, just that. And hit the base. Brown leather base diffused. Okay. All right, now we can upload them. Open brown leather base color normal specular base diffuse. Okay. And we'll upload those and see how it looks. What am I doing? I think I got interrupted and I think I got lost track of my stuff. So I'm not quite sure. I think all I was trying to do was the base, wasn't it? That's the only thing I was trying to do was upload the base. But anyway. So we have the base medium shiny. Oh, I mean, it's not this one. It's the Blinn-Phone. I'm so confused. Okay. I don't know what I've been doing for the last 2-3 minutes because I got confused. So anyway, yeah, let's look at the Blinn-Phone on that. So the Blinn-Phone on that, select face this, is just to make sure we will put it on there when I just uploaded. And on these 3, just make sure we'll do the seat diffuse just to make sure. I know I made some changes. That's what I thought. That's what I was doing. I made some changes and wanted to see them reflected. Oh yeah, I completely redid it with the 4x4 and everything. So we need to redo these. Okay. So that means the normal has to change too. So the normal there and the normal there and the specular. So the specular changes there. The specular changes there. Okay. And then go ahead and open both of those. Yeah, that's what I said. While I'm here, I'm going to redo these. So let's go ahead and put the base color leather in both. The normal for the leather in both. And the ORM didn't change, so I don't have to do anything with it. And now we can apply these. So base. And then this one goes here, here. And there you go. Now, if that's too shiny, you can go in here and use the overrides to adjust it. You could say maybe 0.75 and see what happens. I don't know what'll happen, but we'll try it. You can just play around with them until you get it exactly the way you want it. Yeah, that's better. I kind of like that. And you can see the normal's working better than it was before. It's more bumpy than it was. All right. So there you go. So we did it. We showed you how to use this to create all of the different materials that you need. Now, look at what we've uploaded. So we've created, let's see. I think these are from yesterday. So, yeah. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have created 10 different materials for this. And normally with 10 different materials, you're going to have 10 times the 3 things you need for Blinn-Phong, which is 30. And then you're going to have 10 times the 3 things that you need for PBR, which is another 30. So you're looking at 60 files that have to be created and uploaded. And instead, we've done it with, I don't know, half that, third of that. I think it starts right here. I can count them all up. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to count the emissive. 4, 5. And some of these are redundant. Didn't I duplicate some of these? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So about half. It's about half the number of files. And again, the more we produce, the bigger the savings, because as some of these I only needed one file, right? So only one file. So there you go. That's a leather, and we also had it with a different kind of cloth. So matte and not matte. And so these are the ones. This is what we did today. These are the ones I created yesterday in the big video, the other video. This video is going to be practically as long. So this is what I created. This is Blinn-Phong actually. This is PBR, and these are PBR. Anyway, that's it. So this was 1 hour and 36 minutes. The other one was 2 hours and 10 minutes. So at least it's shorter. It's just too complicated to try to explain it in a short period of time. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys next time.